When I first started doing food delivery services for either Uber Eats or for DoorDash, I was constantly chasing boosts and multipliers. And I'm going to tell you why I don't think that they work, but I'm also going to say you always got to try out in your market. Now, for those that do not know, my name is Ash, and I'm a gig worker here in Montreal, Quebec. And currently right now I work for Uber Eats, for DoorDash, for Skip the Dishes, and previously I used to work for Instacart. Now when it comes to boosts and multipliers, there's a sad story that I gotta talk about when it comes to those categories. Now, first of all, Uber in my market has removed that entirely, and I've showcased that in a previous video. So sadly enough, I have to say, sometimes what comes to my market is coming to a market near you. So if they remove the boost and the multiplier, that could be happening, but I'll let you know, it's not really a loss. I used to keep track of when I would go do orders with a boost on them. And for those who do not know, a boost is an incentive payout for you to go get that specific order in a specific area. Now, here's what I've pinned. When I was not doing boost orders, so I was in a regular zone in my regular area that I knew I got good orders, I would average anywhere between $25, $26 per hour. Sometimes I would make less depending on the day of the week, like Mondays or Tuesdays that I used to do deliveries. But when I would chase some boost or multipliers, what would actually happen is I was making less. I would be making around $18 to $19 per hour, and the reason for this is I find that these companies, whether it's DoorDash or even Uber Eats, is they're stacking on a boost because they desperately need drivers, or if you're doing something like rideshare, like instead of food delivery, they're desperately needing you to drive around customers because in those specific areas, they're super busy, but there's not a lot of tips. And when there's not a lot of tips in super busy zones, people aren't paying, so Uber has to top it up. But is it worth it to get a top up of $1 or $2 versus staying in your zone and possibly getting those $6 or $7 more tips? Well, that question is for you. Because what I want to know is, in your area, are you chasing boost or multipliers? Now, I can understand that at airports could be really big money. And if that's the case scenario, I would totally suggest you try it out there. But if it's just on a common street that's a busy boulevard, and you go there on a regular basis when there's no boost and you make good money, try it out when there is a boost and tell me if you're making the same amount of money, if not more or less. Because in my opinion, there's only been one time when a boost or a multiplier has benefited me, and that was 2 years ago with DoorDash in the winter when they offered a $7 per delivery top-up. Since then, I have only made less money by chasing the boost. And that is because Uber or DoorDash needs more drivers in those locations in order to fulfill the orders that are possibly non-tip orders. Again, this is just from my point of view of what I've gone through, and I want you lovelies to comment below to let me know, do you find a boost and multiplier is more beneficial in your area, or even so, did you get that same screenshot that they have stopped it entirely in your market? Comment below because I want to know, and I catch you lovelies in the next video.